Hey America, let's talk about government oversight. It might sound boring, but trust me, it's important. We're talking about people whose job is to make sure the government isn't screwing up, or worse, screwing us over. Think of it like this. If the government is a car, inspectors general are the brakes. They make sure things don't spin out of control. Without them, it's a recipe for disaster. We're talking corruption, waste, and abuse of power. Fun stuff, right? So, why should you care? Because it's your tax dollars, your government, and ultimately, your future at stake. Stay tuned, because this is where it gets interesting. Remember those government watchdogs we just talked about? The ones who are supposed to keep everything in check and ensure transparency in government operations? Well, recently some of them got fired. Yes, you heard that right, they were shown the door. And not just any watchdogs, we're talking about some big dogs like the ones overseeing the intelligence community and the Department of Defense. These are critical positions that ensure our national security and defense integrity. Now, the White House says these firings were about accountability. They claim it's all part of a broader effort to ensure efficiency and responsibility. But here's the thing, these dismissals came after these very watchdogs started sniffing around some potentially shady stuff. They were investigating matters that could have serious implications. Coincidence? You be the judge. The timing of these firings is more than a little suspicious. The timing raised eyebrows, and rightfully so. Lawmakers and citizens alike are questioning the motives behind these actions. When you fire the people whose job it is to keep you in check, it doesn't exactly scream transparency. It sends a message that oversight is not welcome. More like, nothing to see here, move along, but the public isn't buying it. But people weren't moving along. They were demanding answers and accountability. They were starting to get really worried. The public's trust in government transparency is at stake. So, why are these inspectors general such a big deal? Well, they're kind of like the internal affairs of the government. They're independent and have the power to investigate any government agency or official. They look for things like fraud, waste, and abuse, basically anything that smells fishy, and they don't answer to the president or any political party, they answer to the American people, or at least they're supposed to. These watchdogs are crucial for holding the government accountable and ensuring that things run smoothly. They're the ones who make sure your tax dollars are being used responsibly, and that our leaders are playing by the rules. No pressure, guys. Section 4. Political fallout and public outcry. As you can imagine, these dismissals didn't go over well. The news spread like wildfire, igniting a storm of reactions from every corner of the nation. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle were up in arms. Heated debates erupted in Congress, with passionate speeches echoing through the chambers. Democrats called it a blatant attempt to obstruct justice and undermine oversight. They held press conferences, rallying their supporters and the media. Even some Republicans expressed concern, saying it eroded public trust. They joined bipartisan discussions, seeking a way forward. And the public? Well, let's just say they weren't thrilled either. People were outraged, taking to the streets in droves. They saw it as an attack on democracy itself. Chants of "Save Our Democracy" filled the air at rallies across the country. Social media exploded with criticism, and protests erupted across the country. Hashtags demanding accountability trended for days. The message was clear. Americans care about government accountability, and they won't stand idly by while it's being threatened. Diverse crowds united in their demand for justice. This wasn't just about a few firings, it was about something much bigger. It was about the very principles that hold the nation together. Section 5. Safeguarding our democracy. So what happens now? What steps can we take to ensure that our democratic values are upheld and protected? Well, that's the million-dollar question. The answers aren't simple, but they are crucial. The future of government oversight, and indeed our democracy, hangs in the balance. Every decision we make today will shape the landscape of our governance for years to come. It's more important than ever for us to stay informed, engaged, and vigilant. Knowledge is power, and staying updated on current events is the first step. We need to demand transparency from our leaders and hold them accountable for their actions. This means asking tough questions and expecting honest answers. We need to support a free and independent press that can hold those in power in check. Journalists play a critical role in uncovering the truth and informing the public. And we need to exercise our right to vote like our democracy depends on it, because it does. Voting is the cornerstone of our democratic process. This isn't a spectator sport, folks. Active participation is essential. This is our democracy, and it's up to us to protect it. Every voice matters, and together we can make a difference. So, stay informed, stay engaged, and never be afraid to speak truth to power. Your voice is your power, because the watchdogs can't do it alone. We need you. Together we can safeguard our democracy for future generations.